Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing you the starting 11 show for Everton's second round Carabao Cup tie on Tuesday night against Doncaster at Goodison. So let's get straight into it, starting with the goalkeeper. And I think Sean Dyche is going to opt for João Virginia rather than Jordan Pickford in goal for Tuesday night's Carabao Cup tie. Give Jordan Pickford a rest. I know people might be calling for him to not have a rest after the mistake he made against Spurs on Saturday, but I think for me personally, there's more important games in the context of our season, and there's no point risking Jordan Pickford when we need him fit for Saturday's game against Bournemouth. So I think João Virginia will start in goal. He's more than competent for me. I think he's a keeper that's shown he's definitely competent between the sticks. Most notably, he's had a decent preseason, in my opinion. He made a very good save against Preston in our 3-0 win at Deepdale and kept a clean sheet there that day. So I think he's more than competent to do a job on Tuesday night against Doncaster. So I think Sean Dyche will trust him. Moving into the back four, I think Vitaly Mykolenko will keep his place at left back. For me, it feels like he's had a little bit of a difficult start to the season, maybe a little bit more difficult than he did last year. So a run of 90 minutes against Doncaster might give him a little bit of confidence and maybe instill a little bit more confidence in his performance going into Saturday. So I think Sean Dyche will look to go relatively strong in terms of the team on Tuesday night, and I think he'll keep Mykolenko at left back. I know there is an argument maybe for Ashley Young coming in, but I think just to build on the fitness of Mykolenko, I think he will keep his place from Saturday at left back. Moving into the two centre halves, I think the first centre half we will see is Michael Keane. I personally thought he was a little bit marginally better than James Tarkowski on Saturday against Tottenham. For me, I don't think he could have done too much for any of the goals. I know it was pretty poor defending all round from the back four on Saturday, and Michael Keane didn't really have a standout bad performance for me. So I think he will keep his place for Tuesday night. And then alongside him, I think Jake O'Brien will be given his first start in an Everton shirt. For me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. I know there's been a few murmurs that they wanted to see him on Saturday against Tottenham rather than throwing him in for the Doncaster game. But I'm looking forward to see Jake O'Brien in an Everton shirt. I'm hoping that he can put in a decent performance, and maybe if he does put in that good performance, he can keep his place going into the Bournemouth game. It would maybe free up a little bit more in terms of aerial ability going into the Bournemouth game. I think it would maybe help us a little bit more, but I think Jake O'Brien will be given his first start in an Everton shirt on Tuesday night. And then at right back, as I said in my pre-match on Saturday, I didn't think it will be Mason Holgate. I don't think it'll be Mason Holgate anymore. I think Roman Dixon will keep his place after his fantastic performance against Spurs on Saturday. I did think he had a really good game. As I've said in my post-match thoughts, I was a little bit worried about Roman Dixon coming into the side, but he showed that he's more than capable of putting in a decent performance. So I think to keep consistency and to keep a level of consistency in his performances, why not give him another chance and play him against Doncaster on Tuesday night? And then, all of a sudden, if he does put in another good performance, then you've got another right back there, going into the Bournemouth game on Saturday. So I think Roman Dixon will play against Doncaster on Tuesday night, in Sean Dyche's opinion. And then moving into midfield, I think it will be the same two that played against Spurs. I think Idrissa Gana Gueye will keep his place, and Tim Iroegbunam will keep his place. Idrissa Gana Gueye, I don't think had a great game on Saturday. I think he was pretty much run ragged all afternoon by Yves Bissouma, and then Tim Iroegbunam, I think he maybe can be caught a little bit more slack than say Idrissa Gana Gueye because he does lack that Premier League experience. He is still, trying to bed into this Everton team and still try and put in consistent performances. But both of them didn't have their best games, of their careers. And I think if you play them both together again, it gives them another chance to learn how they both play in midfield. It gives them another chance to maybe form a little bit of a partnership ahead of Saturday. And I know marginally it won't be too much of a partnership forged, but it does give them that little bit more experience of playing together. And because James Garner is still injured, I feel like them two will be the partnership certainly until after the international break. So I think Idrissa Gana Gueye and Tim Iroegbunam will keep their place in midfield. And instead of Abdoulaye Doucouré playing in that attacking midfield position, I do think it'll be Iliman Ndiaye. I'm excited to see him play. I think he showed glimpses coming on Saturday against Spurs that he is a top player. Obviously, he didn't see a lot of the ball on Saturday against Spurs because that was just the complexion of the game. We didn't play well. We didn't see a lot of the ball. We didn't get a lot of chances, but he did show signs that he is a top player, and he has got that flair that can create a lot of opportunities and unlock defenses for us. So I think it is time to see Iliman Ndiaye in that number 10 role, and hopefully he can put in a good performance that would give him a good shout of keeping his place and starting against Bournemouth on Saturday. But That's my midfield three moving into the attacking line now, and I think I'll start with the left hand side. I think Dwight McNeil will keep his place, and I know probably people are thinking, is that this not a little bit strong to go into the Doncaster game? But I think start as you mean to go on, keep the team relatively consistent, don't make too many changes, and I think Dwight McNeil has to keep his place. Very similar to the Vitaly Mikalenko shout. I think it's not been a great start for Dwight McNeil. He's not really created anything, in my opinion, and he's maybe just struggling a little bit in terms of confidence. So starting him against Doncaster, I think, is a good idea because it maybe can bring back a little bit more confidence, as I've said with Vitaly Mikalenko. So hopefully he can put in a good performance. But I do think Sean Dyche will opt to keep Dwight McNeil on that left hand side, and then moving to the right hand side. I think Jesper Lindstrom will be given his first start in an Everton shirt, similar to Jake O'Brien. It will be his first start for Everton, as with Iliman Ndiaye too. I'd be excited to see him as well. I think all of the new signings, there is a lot of excitement with these three new signings that have come in. Hopefully they can put in a decent level of performance. But Jesper Lindstrom, for me, is a top player. I think if we get the ball to his feet and let him run, he's a very direct runner. He's got a lot of pace, and his decision making in the final third, he showed that he can unlock defenses, especially in his time at Eintracht Frankfurt. So hopefully he can put in a decent performance against Doncaster. And as I said with Iliman Ndiaye, hopefully keep his place for the Bournemouth game on Saturday. But I think Dyche will opt for them two on the wings, and then up front, I think Dyche will start Beto rather than Dominic Calvert-Lewin up there. Beto for me needs minutes. A striker like Beto, you can't give him 15, 20-minute cameos at the end of games. It just doesn't work. He needs time to bed into a game. And that's probably why he isn't putting the level of consistent performance that maybe we expected when he signed him a year ago from Udinese. So for me, I think Beto needs to start. I think Dyche will opt for Beto, especially with everything that's going on with the Dominic Calvert-Lewin saga. Obviously, it's transfer deadline day on Friday, so we don't know whether he's still going to be an Everton player by the end of the week. But I think for me now, it is time for Beto to start. And I think Dyche will look at the Doncaster game as an opportunity to maybe give Beto an opportunity for himself to try and get a couple of goals under his belt for this season, and also try and impress Dyche a little bit. But I do think Beto will be given some minutes, and he will start from the beginning against Doncaster on Tuesday night. But that is all for the starting 11 show. I'll just give you a quick recap. So it's Virginia in goal, Vitaly Mikalenko, Jake O'Brien, Michael Keane, and Roman Dixon as the back four. Idrissa Gana Gueye and Timo Rabunen playing as the two, with Iliman Ndiaye a little bit further ahead in the attacking midfield role. Wingers off the left, Dwight McNeil and Jesper Lindstrom off the right, with Beto up front playing as the lone striker on his own. But let me know if your thoughts on the starting 11. If you think Dyche will opt for anything else, if you think he'll maybe try a little bit of a different system against Doncaster just to try and test things, or do you think he'll keep it relatively solid and relatively similar to his existing tactics ahead of the Bournemouth game on Saturday? But that is all from me today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this starting 11. I'll speak to you soon.